Let's bring in the Deputy Director of the Institute of Public Affairs, Daniel Wild. Dan, we are seeing the Albanese government veering further and further towards leftist idealism with a raft of radical policies with the potential to do enormous harm. They've abandoned reason, it seems, for this ideology. We saw it with The Voice, we're seeing it with the NDIS, their climate policies, the immigration detention debacle, and increasingly in their response to the Israeli-Hamas war. And Janet Albrechtsen has written a fantastic piece in today's Australian, pointing out that Labor is being hijacked by activists. She says not only is idealism insufficient to secure results, on its own it will often hurt those it aims to help. Yet the Albanese government is bathing in the stuff, submerging the rest of us in it too. Domestically, idealistic policies untethered from reality and from the lessons of the past are everywhere. Well said there, but how much longer can the government afford to listen to these radical activists, especially with their increasingly divorced from reality climate targets?
Well, Rita, this government is clearly more radical than the Whitlam government. That's been the case now for a number of months. Anthony Albanese ran as a sort of moderate centrist, trying not to reveal his fairly radical past, but he's always been on the far left of the Labor Party. So those of us who have been watching politics for some time knew it was going to be the case that this would be a fairly radical government. You've had the Voice to Parliament, which was one of the most divisive proposals ever put to the Australian people, and thankfully was rejected by 60% of Australians, including 40% of Labor voters. You rightly mentioned net zero and the climate targets. They've got a renewables-only, renewables everywhere policy, and that's why we're seeing prices go up and the prospect of blackouts. And then there's the whole social agenda and the veering to the far left on the Hamas, Palestine, Israel situation. So look, I think the sheen has well and truly come off the Albanese government as Australians learn more about just how divorced it is from the interests and concerns and values of mainstream Australia.